Hello, parents from ATI. This is a quick video to let you know what's been happening on our campus this year that's building some life skills for your students. So, from time to time, we'll be getting these videos out to you. In fact, this will be the first of a series of three to talk about social emotional learning, or SEL, that we've been doing this year to help students get back into the sort of game of education, build confidence, be able to connect, to self regulate, to have relationships and solve problems, all those great foundational skills for all the versions of successful lives that our students are going to have. So, I'm going to introduce you to what we've been doing this year so you kind of have a picture of our work. So, if we haven't had a chance to meet yet, my name is Summer. I'm your school director. I use she, her, hers pronouns. You can find me at the information below. So if you haven't had a chance to email me yet or call, those are my work email and work phone number down below. You're welcome to reach me there at any time. If we haven't had a chance to connect and chat yet, we might connect over nerdy, crafty things. I love crocheting or making things. I also love my very old dogs, they're very sweet. All right, so social emotional learning. See if I can make this smaller and get that out of the way. Social emotional learning is the sort of skills that we have in life that are not so much about math or reading or academic skills, but things like being able to stay calm through frustrating things enough to be able to still think and make decisions instead of just reacting. Um, Social emotional learning is about communication, relationship building, problem solving, and have a lot of underlying pieces. It's really hard to learn or hard to have relationships, hard to have a conversation, make decisions or plans if you're always in survival mode or if you're always feeling under threat. And so, learning about how your brain reacts to the world around you can really help you um, make adjustments or help your brain develop new strategies so that when you have a tough situation, you're able to really navigate it in a way that helps you. So this year at ATI, we knew that after the stress of COVID, isolation and stress and the fires happening here, we really needed to think intentionally about not just assuming those skills are going to be on board for our students, but really intentionally teaching them, practicing them, because they're things you can learn. They're things you can train your brain to do really well that are helpful. And so we wanted to give that to our students and ourselves as adults. We want to make sure that we can do those things well because we're all under stress. So this is the path we took to sort of get there this year. We found over last summer a partner that has been really well respected in this field. They're called Sound Discipline, which is a name they don't love, but essentially they're experts in how brains respond to the situations of their lives, the context they've grown up in, and what that means they do now when we're trying to respond to our life around us. Things about how your brain responds to stress or pressure or feeling under threat, or how it might perceive a threat even though you're actually safe. So we found these experts. They're out of Seattle and they've been consulting with us all year. So that's sort of our second step down here. As a staff, we've been learning some basic brain science. We've been consulting with this company every few months, and almost all the staff have gone to an intensive 2-day training to sort of get some background and be able to practice these skills ourselves. Then, as a staff, we took some of those basic skills and we embedded them throughout all of our ATI structures. So, things like at the beginnings of classes, pausing to take a few deep breaths to help our parasympathetic nerve system, the part that helps us sort of regulate and calm down, help really engage that. So, our blood pressure comes down, our heart rate comes down, and our brain can really focus on thinking and learning instead of being on alert for things that maybe feel really hard and challenging. So, not just lessons specifically in like a class, but little bits throughout the day. And then once we got that going, we sort of looked at where we needed to do some special or some more significant skill building. Maybe there were some times of the day where it was especially hard for people to stay sort of chill and regulated and be able to think well. So we looked for times of the day or different kinds of experiences, or maybe particular students that were really struggling with a particular skill of social emotional learning, and could we support them in particular, maybe more than we are doing for the general campus all the time. So we look for targeted skill building, and we've added that really happened in Q2 and Q3. And we're in the process of continuing to collect some data just to know how we're doing. what do we see that's different? What do we see that is changing over time? What are we hearing from students? What are we experiencing ourselves and staff? So that's where we're at right now. And when we think about our path down the line, we really believe this is critical for life skills. It's the kind of skill that helps you deal with a really tough coworker, or a really challenging day in your life, or a tough time in a relationship. And we know we want our students to have those skills. And so we think that sticking with this into the 22-23 school year is going to be really important. In our next installment, or last of the three installments, you'll actually hear about what some of that data is telling us. I'll be sharing some of that with you. So stay tuned. This is, of course, coming to you through class tag. So the next installment will come to you through class tag as well. And the next installment will actually show you one of the lessons we've been teaching everybody. One of the places we embedded this social emotional learning for every student is in our new student orientation and intake. And so we're going to show you one of the lessons that a student teaches to every other new student that comes to ATI. So you'll get a chance to get a feel for what your students are seeing. And in the third installment, like I said, we'll show you some data. We're really excited to share with you what we're doing at school so you feel in the loop and you understand what's happening. And I'll look forward to connecting with you all again soon. Have a great